Here we go again, you guys. What's up with that? Fuzzy, fuzzy, fuzzy. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's see if we can get this camera. I think this video quality is a lot better. Let me see if we can get this doggone camera together. I think that looks a lot clearer. I don't know. Let me see. Let's see if we can fix the screen here. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever it is you are in the world. Hello. How is everyone doing on this wonderful cold Wednesday? It's cold where I'm at. I just wanted to pop in and say hello, and I wanted to talk about something really quick. Um, Putting on my sweater. I'm actually on my way out um, to lunch, which I should not be doing because I've been going out to lunch for the last week actually. But we all need to get out, right? We all need to get out and get a break and, mingle and meet new people and, be good listeners and teachers and students and stuff like that. I learn from everybody that I come in contact with. So, um, hello. But I wanted to talk about something really quick. So the importance of forgiveness. Let me just say that first. The importance of forgiveness. But that's not the title of my video. The title of my video is um, stop apologizing for bad behavior if you're going to keep doing it. I think that some people get so engrossed in their behavior that when they do it again or repeat it, they don't know that they're doing it. Um, and it could be any behavior. Bad behavior like, oh, I'm, going to stop, cursing. I'm going to stop, doing this, doing that. I'm going to try not to do this, do that so much. And I know myself that, I'm a work in progress. I know you guys are a work in progress, but it's one thing to try to work on yourself, on your bad patterns or behavior, or whatever. And it's another thing just to like keep doing it and knowing that you're doing it. And I'm kind of like, I don't even know, y'all. I have a couple people that in my life, and they're, I consider these people friends. And I know that people are not perfect because I'm far from perfect, and I'm working on myself every single day. But one thing I will say is I am very um I am very, what's the word I want to use? Cautious and conscious about, my behavior and my bad behaviors and things that people have brought to my attention. Um, and I try to work on it. I actually do stop and be like, oh, I'm about to, because I've done it here. Like when I'm not gonna cuss today, you guys. I'm not gonna do that. And then be like, oh, I cussed, or I'll go to do it and I'll correct myself. So I do have it in me to, at least try to stop and think. But there's some people, it's freaking annoying. See, I just did it, but it's freaking annoying. I think that sometimes people apologize for their bad habits and their bad behaviors because it's a formality. It's a formality to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that," or "I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I was always doing that." And with some of you, I think that you know that you are doing it, but you're so used to that bad behavior that it just doesn't register with you until someone calls you out on it again. And yeah, kind of annoying. Not kind of annoying, but really annoying. But like I said, everybody's different. Hooray, hand clap to the ones who are trying to work on this stuff like myself. I am learning a lot, um, experiencing a lot, excuse me, some wonderful things. And I've noticed that we all have something to talk about. We all have something, that we want to express. And, this. And remember what I told you guys the last time. I said, you have to be mindful, one, who you ask to pray for you. Be very mindful of who you share your business with. And people have been saying that for years. But I'm really serious when I say that. Like, really be mindful of who you share your business with, because um, some people are not capable to process your information. There's some that will listen to what you have to say just to go tell someone else. And actually, I know someone like that, and that person just pulled up in the parking lot. That's why I'm laughing. Um, but this is what I'm saying. You guys know I get on here all the time, and I always have a story about my neighbor. And I got another one again. And I've told her about herself again, but people are so stuck in their ways that, this is what I believe too. I believe that God puts people in our life for a reason, for a season. Um, I'm an Aries, and Aries, we are very, a lot of people are like, ooh, Aries, they don't take no shit. No, we don't. But Aries, we're very loving and kind, and we're givers, and we're devoted, and we're good friends, and we're good support people. But when you cross the Aries, it's not a good situation. And I'm an Aries, and I'm just keeping it 1,000. It's not a good idea to ever cross the Aries because of our personality. First of all, we are the first astrological sign. We are the Ram. We are the whole, you know, at the top. And although we're really good people, most of us anyway, spirit, like I said, spiritually very loving, love longing, longevity, loved you long time, supportive, and very, just like all together like really good people. But like everyone else, we do have our sides where it's like, don't cross us, and don't, be doing like crazy stuff that'll get you effed up. um Back to people bad habits, and I don't mean to call anybody out, but I don't know. I'm finding myself more and more by myself because our universe is surrounded by some fake people. I I don't understand it. Like I said, I think it's something it's I think we are, as human beings, are just so programmed to be fake. Not all of us. Because me, I'm not fake. Anybody be like, nah, Ken will tell you how it is. She don't like you. You gonna know I don't like you. If I have a problem with you, I'm going to respectfully say, hey, can we talk? I didn't like that you did this or whatever, whatever. And I always ask my friends, and for people to come talk to me if you have a problem with me. Don't be running your mouth about me and all that other stuff. But I think it's a formality as human beings to when I say be fake, I mean, again, apologizing for the same old crap that you've been doing, the same old, oh, I'm sorry. I keep leaving the toilet seat up. I'm sorry. I don't reach out to you, and I'm sorry. I don't. I'm not listening to you. I'm sorry. I make everything about me all the time, and because a lot sometimes too. This is what annoys me too. It annoys me when, and this is really like the story of my life too, where because I've been a beacon for so many people, and people know they can call me and they can talk to me. Um, what they'll do is they'll call me and tell me all their stuff and everything they're going through, and this, and all this other stuff. And sometimes they say, well, how are you doing? After they had told me all their business. Um, Sometimes I get the, oh, how are you doing? And sometimes, most of the time, by the time I heard all of their business and whatever they laid upon me, I'm exhausted. I don't even feel like talking no more. Some will ask how you doing. Most of the time they don't. Some will get on the phone and just go right into, oh my God, let me tell you what happened. This, this. Or they'll do the old, how you doing? And as soon as you say you're doing okay, well, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think that's really, mm, when you're a person's friend, you know their trials and tribulations, you know their ups and downs, and you know the things that they're going through. Try to make it your business. Try to make a point of, when you call someone to check on them or whatever it is, or you calling someone's event, try to not be so selfish that when as soon as you get on the phone, you go into, oh my God, this, and this. Try, how are you doing? And even if a person says okay, and you know that person, and you again, you know that if that person suffers from depression or whatever, or if they have a bad life or whatever, try to be have enough class and have enough humility and be a good friend and let them go first. Can we try that, you guys? Because I have a couple friends, they do it all the time, and like I said, it becomes very hurtful. And by the time you finish listening to them, you don't even want to talk anymore. You don't. You're just like you're so you know some and I'm not judging. Some people, I guess, they feel like they just got to get it out. Because I've done that before, but I've learned to when I call people or I check on a person, I've even done this because this is the type of friend I am. I will text a person, hey, how you doing? How's the family doing? And they'll text me back, we're not doing so well, this and this, but how are you? I'll actually skip over how am I doing to say, oh, I'm really sorry that your family's going through it, or this person is ill, or whatever, and not even acknowledge that they asked me, you know, how I was doing or if everything was okay, because I am always in all of concern of my friends and support of my friends, and unfortunately I don't get that courtesy back. I am really on this whole new level, this whole um this whole path of finding my friends that are equally yoked, friends that are just like me, that are considerate just like me, that will listen just like me, wholeheartedly listen like me, and have enough class to be like, hey, how you doing? And not take just because I said, oh, I'm doing okay, and you just go into it. Oh, well, this, and oh my God, this and that and that and all this other stuff. Sometimes, and this is what I'm trying to express to you. When you know a person and you know your friend, a lot of times most of the people that say they're okay, they're not okay. You can tell in the person's voice, you can tell in the person's spirit, you can tell if you haven't heard from somebody, if you haven't, you know what I'm saying, or they haven't contacted you, or you just haven't heard from them, or whatever the case may be. If you know that person and you call yourself that person's friend, you should know that it's something wrong. So when you call that person, text, email, FaceTime, Hangout, Duo, whatever, and that person, oh, okay. Because when a person, and this is not for all people, when a person usually is okay, they'll be like, oh, I'm blessed, I'm this, I'm that. But when you get the I'm okay, that's usually a sign that it's really not okay. So let's try to, you know, be more, and this is only if you want to. You don't have to. Friendships are very important to me. Relationships are very important to me. It is very important that I love up and I pray and I support my friends, because I know how it feels to be lonely. I know how it feels to be depressed and in a room full of people. I know how it is to be depressed and feel underappreciated and be in a whole relationship and not be able to call your spouse or confide in your spouse or your companion, your husband, your wife, whatever. I know how that feels. It is not a good feeling. So let's, if you want to, and you really want to demonstrate and show that um, you're a real friend, not a fake one, and that you really care and you really are concerned about a person, dig in a little bit. Take the time out from your mess and like really dig in and just humble yourself and be like, okay, because this is what I do too. And because again, you got to be careful who you spill your business to. I have friends. I already know this. I have a handful of friends, and I already know how they are because I care about them. I really care about them, and I really pay attention. I really pay attention to how we connect. I really pay attention to, damn, I haven't heard from Michelle, or if I haven't heard from Gregory or whoever. Oh, I wonder what's going on. Sometimes my friends do need space and need time to themselves, and I'll let them reach out to me. But most of the time, I'll reach out to them. And if I text, email, or call a friend and say, hey, friend, how are you doing? And they say, okay. And I know that person and I really care about that person. I know that that okay is not really okay. And I'm laughing because it gives me joy to know that I am a sincere friend. And like I said, when I reach out to the people and they be like, I'm like a friend of mine, I just know when she's like, when Michelle is like, I'm okay, I know she's not okay. And I'll be like, just okay. And that's what I always do. Any of my friends, guys, females, whatever. And I'll be like, just okay, are you sure? You know I'm here for you. And that's when they start to open up, and you get a conversation going. And I'm gonna need for people that are out here calling themselves friends and this to dig in a little bit deeper and really utilize it and research what it means to be a good friend and to be a concerned friend, and not always be so focused on your mess. Don't don't be so focused on your mess sometimes. Like, really dig into your friendship and give that friend that opportunity to go first sometimes. You don't always have to go first. It's not always about you. Be honest with you. I can honestly say my right hand to God, I don't do that. When I get on the phone, hey friend, how you doing? Whether they call me or I call them, how you doing? And I always pause because I want to give my friend that opening. And I'm a lot of times I'm praying in my head or whatever because I want to give them that opening to say, well, hey, this is what is really going on with me or whatever. And sometimes, like I said, I'll say, just okay. Are you sure you're okay? And I'll even have someone to be like, yeah, I'm sure. And I'll be like, no, you're not. I know you. I feel that you're not okay. What's up? Do that. Try to do that sometimes. If you have friends that do that type of stuff for you, like, come on now. We about to go into 2020, and I refuse to go into 2020 with some bullshit. Excuse my language. I'm not going into 2020 with some of y'all, which y'all doing the same old inconsiderate. Let me go first. It's all about me. I'm not gonna fully listen to you type stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's not where I'm at. I'm not gonna be aligned with anything like that. And I'm not talking to anybody in particular. So let's not get in our feelings because I know people watch just to be watching, to get in their watching just to get in their feelings, not say nothing. And you guys know too, I don't have pity for that. I don't do pity parties. Pity parties are eternal to me, and I just can't. Yeah, we all going through something. You know what I'm saying here in life, and I think that what you guys fail to realize is, and I have failed to realize this too. So many years ago. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I'm always, in all and I'm always this, but to be honest with you, 90% of the time, yes, I am because I try to stick to my word. I tell you guys this. I always close my videos out with, um, loving somebody for real, loving somebody on purpose, and self worth. And I tell y'all guys all the time that when you're demonstrating when you're saying that you love someone or whatever, and you know, you um when you are saying that you're demonstrating when you say I love you, whatever, demonstrate that, what I'm saying, demonstrate your self-worth. And I always tell you guys too that your word is your bond. So like let's I don't know, y'all, let's stand on it. Let's stop being so again. And I feel like I always feel like I gotta repeat myself, and I don't like doing that. um just find time to like dig in a little bit. Like I said a minute ago, I'm gonna repeat myself. Find time to dig in. Find time to dig into your friendship. Um, find time to just not be as selfish and let somebody else go first. You know what I'm saying? I just gave this whole spiel, and I'm not gonna get into it again. But I feel like I gotta kind of stress that to people that you know we gotta we I'll say the word we have got to stop um apologizing for bad behavior, because after a while it gets redundant and it gets annoying, and then it just gets, well, he or she, they keep apologizing for their bad habits and their bad behaviors, but yet they keep doing it. So then it becomes like I said, hurtful, disrespectful, and then you kind of don't know, is this person really sorry that they keep on having these bad habits with us or bad behaviors, or do they just not give a crap? And I'm not in the mood to be playing no guessing game. So I'm just saying, you know, work on yourself. We're all masterpieces, and we're all work in progress. And like I said, for you guys that are out here calling yourself somebody's friend, um, kind of try to like not really express that more. Kind of work on that. Do your research of what a like a real friend is, and how friends um are supposed to act. And again, it doesn't always have to be you first. Um, wait a minute. Just I don't know. I get overwhelmed talking about it because like I said, after a while, it just gets repetitive and exhausting. Oh, I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna stop leaving the toilet seat up. I'm gonna stop, you know, going into a conversation and making it all about me. I'm gonna stop this, and then you guys turn around and you do the same stuff. I'm exhausted. When a person tells you that, and even though I just put okay right here, I'm going to change that because I am okay. I'm just uh, giving y'all a little lesson right now. And I'm not saying it to, I'm on fire today. I feel good. I'm on fire today. I've been home all day by myself. I'm feeling good. My babies are in school. I'm about to wait for my, a different neighbor, y'all. Not, parking wars. But anyway, to come, and we're gonna go do lunch and pick up some toys and stuff. But anyway, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time today. But let me reiterate what I was saying when I initially started this video. Stop apologizing for bad behavior and bad habits. Dig into your friendships a little bit deeper. Um, you don't always have to go first. You don't always have to go first, and it's not always about you. Understand that some people, you guys, when you get into conversation, you get in, verbal conversation or text message conversation, you feel like you got to get it out first. Sometimes just quiet yourself a little bit. Hey, how you doing? Person says okay, and then you just I'm sorry, I see a character that I haven't seen before. You just go into it. Well, this. Oh my God, all this other stuff. Sometimes hesitate a little bit. You sure you okay, friend? What's up? Sure, what's going on with you? Give that person, you know, make a person make a person feel comfortable with talking to you. Make a person feel like it's okay that they can talk to you, and you're not going to make the whole conversation about you, and you're not just going to go right into the conversation about you, because I have people that do that to me, and it's like I said, it's getting doggone annoying. As soon as you get on the phone with them, it's sometimes they don't even ask you how you doing. Oh girl, let me tell you this, or this happened, or this. I'm like, well, good afternoon to you too. Or, like I said a minute ago, ask me what was I just saying? Uh, yeah, or they'll, like I said a minute ago, there'll be the whole, um, or you, like I said, you'll have the ones too to call you and pretend like they're checking on you or reaching out to you, whatever, just so they can saturate you with their mess. And as soon as you give them the open invitation, hey, how you doing? I'm okay. Well, let me tell you, blah 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 blah. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Don't. I'm not going to say stop doing it. To each their own. Dig into your friendship a little bit deeper. You don't always have to be first. Gosh, I express this and I keep repeating this because a lot of my friends are actually my subscribers and my followers and this, and for whatever. And I keep having to say this over and over again. You don't always have to go first. Let a sister or a brother talk, and then you talk. Let them vent, and then you vent. You don't always have to go first. You don't like. Y'all get the point. I'm stressing myself out talking about it because it happens to me repeatedly. As soon as I get on the phone, it's how you doing? Or hey, what's up, girl? Oh, nothing. Well, let me tell you. Or the same thing. What's up, girl? Hey, or whatever. You okay? And I could feel the spirit just itching. itching to gossip or just itching to just da 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 da. And I'm like, I'm okay. And then I'm getting ready to talk again. And it's, well, let me tell you this and this happened. And then you don't always have to go first. Humble yourself. Quiet your storm. Quiet yourself a little bit. Let somebody speak first. Let somebody vent first. Let somebody talk first. That's what friends do. We give people the opportunity to feel comfortable with us and feel like they can confide in us and feel like, their concerns are just important. If you're reaching out to a person, um, we're not just reaching out. I don't want to keep using that word. If you're in conversation with a person, it doesn't matter. Your friend, your lover, your wife, your whatever. When you're in a conversation with someone, you want to feel like you're comfortable. Yeah, you can talk to them. But when you're dealing with people, and I do mean people, plural. Okay, make sure I got that right. People that always want to be first, that always want to talk first, that always want to tell first, that always want to gossip first. It gets annoying after a while. And like I said, you become exhausted. And by the time they spill their mess on you, their gossip or whatever it is, you don't even want to talk no more. We got to do better. We got to do better in our friendships. We got to do better in our relationships. We just got to do better, period. Like people out here, y'all, I'm not going to say y'all, human beings are out here spitting this word, friendship, 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 friendship. And it's not really a friendship. It's a one-sided ass friendship. And you might not see it like that because sometimes people do stuff and they don't even know they're doing it. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about. Stop apologizing for the same bad habits and behaviors. There it is. Dig in to your friendship and really get to know that person. And that's the thing, because I don't think that you ever really get to know a person. People spend their lifetime together and find out that though their companion, their husband, their wife, or whatever got secrets out of the wazoo. I've seen it. I watched it on TV. Man was married for 35 years. His wife didn't even know that he had the whole garage full of barrels full of dead children. 35 years. And I hate when people say, oh, they should have known. They should have smelled something. I remember when I was telling you guys about my neighbor. One of my neighbors is being abused. And I was sitting in my room where I'm at now. And I heard a bunch of commotion, a man and a woman arguing. I'm like, what's going on? And you guys, I don't know. I don't like confrontations. I don't like fighting. So I went outside. I don't know if I told you guys this story. And she was like, oh, my boyfriend just took my car and my keys. He threw my 5-year-old son up against the wall, punched me, tore my whole house up because she didn't want him to use her vehicle because he kept taking her vehicle and leaving out at night. She was like, no. So he beat her up real bad through her son. Not their son, you guys, her son, which he would get a whole ass whooping. But anyway, so she had to call the police from my phone. I ain't gonna lie, I made myself available to go outside because I wanted to make sure she was okay. Because I heard a conversation from my window, and thank God that I did. Because she was like, "Ma'am, can I use your phone?" And then she told me what happened, and she's calling the guy's mother. She was able to call the police and all this other stuff, and get help. But it's really, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. Dig into your friends, be more coherent, be more alert. Like, try to be a good friend. Your word is your bond. This same woman that used my phone to call the police to get protection or whatever was the same woman I met during the summertime at a picnic at our rental office. We were sitting at a table together. It was me, my 3 daughters, and her son, who's 5, which is really her grandson because her daughter passed away giving birth to him. And he has, what is it, ADHD. He's very hyper. He is so cute. I told you guys about him in a video about 3 or 4 months ago. His name is Jay Sean. He is so freaking cute. Thank you. And he's really cute. Anyway, I met this lady at a picnic. My rental office had this like back to school swimming little picnic, whatever. And I met her. Who would know? Who would have known that 3, 4 months later I would be helping her out of a bind? I would be, helping her. God places people in your life for a reason, for a season. for whatever. And I think that's amazing because when I seen her, I was like, I know her. And then, now mind you, this happened what, like a week or so ago. I ran into her yesterday, and I was getting in the car, and she was like, sweetie. And I was like, I turned around, oh no, this was her. She was like, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the other night. She was like, everything's okay now. I got my car back, my cell phone, and all this other stuff. My son is doing okay, or whatever, whatever. She was like, I want to thank you so much. Had you not come outside to see what was going on or whatever, because I was actually on my way to the store, to that doggone Target. And like I said, I made myself available to come outside. I was getting ready to go to the store anyway, but she was like, had you not come outside. Now, mind you, this lady lives in a building, apartment building, a 4 unit apartment building. Um, do you know that nobody asked her? She said that people in the building were coming out, in the hall being nosy because they heard the commotion. Not one of those people asked her if she was okay or did she need something. She was literally standing at her apartment door with the door wide open, waiting for someone to come along so she could use the phone because this person had took her phone. This gentleman, well, he's not a gentleman. Excuse me. This guy had took her phone. Who would know? Who would have thought months later that I would be helping her out? Like, it's amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing. And it feels good. It's like, I told you guys, when I get up in the morning, I always pray. And I'm like, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for waking my family up. I declare all these wonderful things over my home and my children and stuff. And one thing that I keep asking for, because I'm still learning, I always ask, I say, God, what is my purpose? What is it that you need me to do? And I haven't really figured it out yet, but I've spent a lifetime, even as a young girl, as young as I can remember, as young as maybe like 11, 12 years old, uh, comforting people. I've always been like super sensitive like that. When I seeing strangers that don't, look like they're doing well, are you okay? Can I help you? I don't know. I've even given random people hugs and they'll be like, no, I'm not okay. And they'll go like this lady. I don't know if I told y'all. I was at the bus stop in Montgomery County, Maryland one day about 10 years ago. And I was sitting at the bus stop and the lady next to me, Hispanic lady, I could tell that something was wrong with her and I could tell that she'd been crying. And she sat there and just started talking to me in Spanish. I didn't understand a word she was saying. All I could do was hug her. All I could do was say, see, yes, 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 see. And I just hugged her. And she was like, gracias, gracias. That's all I could do. Didn't know her. Happened to me again. I remember, I don't know if I told you guys this. Same thing about 6, 7 years ago. I'm in my home. I'm getting ADT. The ADT man comes in. And he's hooking up the ADT. I'm on my computer, whatever. And he just starts talking. He was like, he got a phone call and it was his wife. And he was like, God help me. So I asked, are you okay? He said, I'm okay. He said, but he didn't even hesitate. He went straight in. He was like, my wife, we've been together for 5 or 6 years. He allowed her to stay home. When they got together, he initially didn't want to have kids, but he was talking about how, he ended up, she wanted a kid as a husband. He gave her a baby. And he just started telling me how he goes to work all day. He works for ADT full time. Then he has a part time job, and how he comes home. She don't have dinner ready. The house is a mess. She's just like, just not, I guess doing her part or whatever. And he's just talking and whatever. And I actually stopped and prayed with him. And he said it was like he was in not really a trance, but he would just kept talking and talking, talking. And then he literally was like, oh, wow. He was like, I am so sorry. I cannot believe I just sat here and told you all my business like this. And he just kept apologizing. I was like, don't apologize. I appreciate you coming out, hooking up my ADT. I think he was more worried that I was going to call the agency. And ADT was like, oh, one of your agents came in and this, and this. I'm not about that life. I'm going to be calling people, talking to people about other people, a business like that, or calling agencies and reporting people. That crap is for the birds. But I get it all the time. I will be in random places and random people Well, talk to me again. I was in the grocery store the other day, and it was this older Caucasian lady. She had to be at least 70 years old, and she was doing a little samples. And she said, "Excuse me, miss, do you mind?" And I had walked past her, not to be rude or anything. And she said, "Excuse me, miss, can I offer your daughter a Rice Krispie treat?" And I was like, "Sure." So she gave my daughter Rice Krispie treats. She started telling us about, how the Rice Krispie treats, uh, Kellogg's Rice Krispie treats cereal was on sale and how you can make the Rice Krispie treats or whatever. And she started talking to me too. She was like, I just lost my husband and it's been hard. So did she say she was volunteering to do the samples or whatever? She just just went into it, and I told her, I was going to pray for her, and I hugged her and this and that, and it was her too. She was like, "Thank you for stopping and talking to me." I was like, "Why not? Why not stop? Give somebody a little bit of conversation. You never know what you might learn. You never know what you might teach them." I don't know. It might sound corny to y'all, but I have pleasure in praying for someone, praying with someone, praying over someone, praying through someone. I find actually a personal pleasure of just like being a support to someone, just loving up on. I don't know. I am fulfilled like that. I'm not. You guys know I'm a big ass crybaby. I'm about to start crying, but I do. It's something that it literally it fills me up knowing that I was there for somebody, or I was a listener for somebody, or I was some type of I was just there for that person, even if it was just sitting there with them, because you could support someone just by sitting there. I dated someone about 5 or 6 years ago, and I didn't know that this person was an addict until one day this person brought me to their house, and I was so mad because this person was like, "Oh, we're gonna watch movies and this." So I was looking for because this person knew how to cook and all this cool stuff. I was like, "Ooh, we gonna cook, we gonna do this," because y'all know I got a food handler's license. I like to cook too. But then we sat there. This person fell asleep. 2, 3 hours went by, and this person kept waking up like, "Oh, I'm cold. I don't feel good," or whatever. And I didn't put it together. So my little what selfish butt. I left. I called a taxi and I left, and the person called me, and I was like, "You fell asleep on me. Like, what kind of crap is that?" And the person was like, "I'm really sorry. Because actually, to be honest with you, they did that, um, and nothing was said about it. I let it go. Then it happened again. That's the story. It happened again, and I was just like, again, I called a taxi. This time, the person was like, "Look, man, I'm an addict. I've been clean for like 2 or 3 days. I believe I'm having withdrawals." Excuse me. This person told me that they laced their weed with coke. That was the end of that. I'm shaking up some vitamin D because I take vitamin D3. That was the end of that relationship. Um, but not friendship, because I'm still friends with this person. That was like 5 or 6 years ago. But I was like, this person told me, they were like, all I wanted you to do was sit there with me. And I've been the kind of person, I still am, and I'm working on this, where I'm a truth seeker. I'm an information buff. So I always got to know my purpose, you know, and this is not a bad thing, knowing your purpose with people. Like, why do they want you there? Why do they keep reaching out? Why are they not reaching out? Whatever. So, and I told this person, I said, if you would have just let me know that you wanted me to just sit there, I would have had no problem with it. But I didn't know. I just thought you was being rude. I was like, because you put on a movie, I was like, because you treated me like a child. I felt like a child. You basic, hold on for a minute. I got to get my cell phone because I'm waiting for a call. Anyway, I was like, you treated me like a child. You put on a TV show on Netflix, on autoplay, and I'm sitting there for hours, hours, hours. And nothing. Let a sister know. And that's what I tell people too. And don't get me wrong, I understand. Trust me, I understand because I've been through this before. Um, I always say this, right? And I have to kind of draw back from it a little bit. I always say, if you really, really know a person, because I believe this, if you really know a person and you're a person's a real friend, a true friend, then one should know when they can come to you and talk to you and confide in you. And that's what I told this person. I said, you know, you must not know me. I said, because if you knew me, you would have known that you could have come to me and been like, look, I'm an addict, I lace my weed, I'm having withdrawals, whatever the case may be. You would have known that I would have been okay. And I'm not going to be like, F you and this and you're this. And I mean, I had to end the relationship part of that because I'm sorry. I'm just not, I wasn't, and I'm still not. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not set up to date an addict or a freshly recovering addict. To be honest with you, I don't think I'm set up to date an ex addict either because I've dated one before who was actually 8 years clean. I'm not sure if this person's still clean. We talk from time to time on Facebook, but I don't feel the need to ask this person that because I don't believe it's any of my business. And I say that because I have children. And when you are dealing with people that are addicts in recovery or whatever, and it's not judging, it's not being disrespectful to anyone. I've seen this happen before. Um, I have daughters, and even though my daughters are smart and they're taught not to mess with stuff and mess with mingle and stuff and this, I don't need. Sometimes when a person is in their addiction, and we all have addiction to something, sex, drugs, alcohol, pornography, addiction to lying, narcissists, we all have these bad spirits among us. But I've heard of, because this happened to a neighbor of mine where she was dating an addict who was really, really heavy into coke and would actually mix it in with his food. I can't trust that around my kids to be dating someone who might be an ex addict or whatever, and you cooking up food and forgetting, and my kids eat some of that because then I'm going to have to mess you up. So very, very careful. It's never about me. It's always about my kids. I am the mother of four daughters. My oldest, like I said, is 27. My youngest will be 8, December the 27th. Oh, I have a child that's turning 14, January the 8th. A daughter, you guys. She's the good one though. But anyway, um, I think my ride. Hold on for a second. Remember my baby that I was talking about that'll be 14? She's texting me from school. She's in Spanish class, which she hates because she says she just can't get it together. She wants to learn and she can't get it together, and they won't move her out of Spanish class. So my friend, the person I'm hanging out with, um, I'm gonna talk to her today because she keeps sending me her location, and I told her she doesn't have to do that. And I know that she comes from a background from abuse, and sometimes with abused people, wait a minute, you guys. Happy holidays and thanks for your support. Many blessings to you and your family. Feliz Navidad. Sarah, you're so smart. I hope this part. I'm about to start singing that song. Feliz Navidad. But anyway, my friend, she yeah, she's been abused before, and I know sometimes with abused women because I've been through it before. They feel like they got to report, and she's been doing this for like the last week or so. She's been sending me her location. She was like, I'm here. I'm here. I swear I'm right here. She told me, she was at the doctor's office, so she just sent me her location. I'm like, you don't even got to do all that. But anyway, you guys, um, you guys can hear my little religious stuff in the background. I feel like these days I gotta stay blessed up, prayed up. I gotta stay in the spirit. Um, I just gotta. I don't know. I just gotta. I gotta stay. Um, I'm surprised I didn't get a text from my neighbor because we had exterminator come today. And oh, that's what I was telling you guys about. Remember, you guys always get on here ranting about my neighbor and her. Forgive me for talking about her. Like for real, forgive me for talking about her. I gotta talk about it to somebody. And I appreciate you guys listening all 45, 18 seconds in her delusion. But I'm the type of woman, you guys, I stick around. You guys, remember I told you I listen to understand. I listen, to listen. I listen, to be concerned. And even though remember I told you how she always blamed the maintenance men for everything. Oh, they came in and stole her towels, washcloths, and this and this. She started that shit yesterday about that. And I was just like, here we go again. But I'm learning about her. People that have that type of behavior. My daughter, my soon to be 14-year-old is very smart. I'm struggling with that 16-year-old. Y'all, oh my God, my 16-year-old is out of control. She's not like bad or running away or anything like that. She just does not like going to school. And anyway, so my soon to be 14-year-old was like, Mom, the lady's a sociopath and you need to stop hanging out with her. And I try to deal with her, like I said, because she takes me wherever I need to go. She bought me lunch a couple times. I bought her lunch. And like I said, I give her my sneak money in her car all the time. Because I figure she talks about other people like that. She talks about me too. But let me tell you guys something. Again, God puts people in people's life for a reason, whatever. And even though she's always blaming the maintenance man for everything, stealing her towels and this, and they broke her couch, and they stole her teapot for a whole year, all this other stuff. Spirit led her to like really open up to me yesterday. And I kind of understand why she's the way she is. She gone through a lot of stuff. And mind you, remember, this lady's going on 70 years. So I think I can't remember how old she told me she was. I think she might be, I know she's retirement age, and that's what, 65. So she's between 65 and up. I know she's no older than 75. But anyway, and don't look it. Don't look it. Anyway, kind of understand why she's the way she is. I'm not saying that it's right. Because I watched her do something the other day that actually scared me, and I don't scare easy. Remember I told you guys she's having this ongoing thing with this one of our neighbors, the whole family. The young man is 17. How he pulled up to her and tapped her bumper one day when he was parking, and she beeped, he beeped back. Her and his family been going through this. That's called the police if you get in their car. Anyway, well, every time he comes outside, she feels as though he is watching her or aggravating her, because just by chance, whenever she's in her car, he happens to come out. He comes outside too and gets in his car. And for us sane people, and I'm not, not to be mean or anything, but for us who I guess don't suffer from whatever she's suffering from, we're sitting in the car, and we've been sitting in the car for like 20 minutes, and she's, talking and, per usual. And the young boy comes out and he gets in his car. Mind you, she has a handicap space, right? But we weren't in a handicap space. He comes out and he gets into his car, and she just turned into Satan, y'all. She was like, see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? This crap. He was probably sitting in the window looking at us the whole time. And she just starts the car up and she pulls on. She was like, let me park into this handicap space. She was like, you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? He came outside and got in his car just to aggravate me. I'm like, I was scared. I was like, when I tell you guys, it was like something took over her ass. I was just like, and she said to me, she's like, you see what I'm talking about? I'm like, no, I saw him get in his car and he left. She's like, no, he probably was in the window and saw us sitting out here. So he just wanted to come outside and walk past me to aggravate me. So many times, y'all, I just want to tell her, ain't nobody thinking about you, because I don't think he is. He's 17 years old with his own car. Okay, yeah, he bumped your car one day. Okay, he's a teenager, and I'm not excusing him for this. But it's getting to be a little out of control. I was scared. I got out the car. She was like, "Where you going?" I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go in and check my family." Because if you guys could have seen the way she started, she got the push starts the whip car. So she push started the whip and drove over 3 lanes over to get in her handicapped parking space. For what? He First of all, he knows that he can't park there. Second of all, even if he was in the window looking at us, he came outside in the cold to aggravate you and drive off. No. Then yesterday we're driving, having a good day. Now mind you, this young boy has like a white Honda with a little spoiler on the back. Um, we're driving, and she's going kind of slow. Her road rage is out of control. So I have a 27-year-old, and this I was correct talk ghetto. My daughter's my 20, and I'm not bragging. I'm scared when I ride with my 27. I'm just like, one day somebody gonna whoop your ass. Like, I ain't gonna lie. My daughter, they're young. He's 17, she's 20, whatever. They're young. Sometimes young people they drive like that. Whatever they, cut people off, pull up to people real close. My daughter drives a sports car, Dodge, 2019 Dodge Charger. So I know, right? 2019 though. Lucky her. Anyway, after she had my truck repossessed, she gonna go and get herself a car. Anyway, so we're driving. It's a white car that resembles the young man's car, just pulls past us and goes faster. Here she go. I know that. Oh my God, that's the boy. That's the neighbor. That's the boy. See, he out here. He been following us all day. I said her name. I said that's not him. That's not. Well, it looked like his car. I said no. His car has a spoiler on the back. What's that? You don't even know what a freaking spoiler is. I'm trying to figure out what the obsession is. Like, what's really going on? I've never seen. It was like her whole eyes just got red, and she was like, both days, and that kind of scared me. That really scared me, and I was like, not cool. So I got at the car and I went inside, and I was like, "It's not cool." And she called me, and she was like, "Would you like to go get, some lunch?" Y'all, I'm as a fat girl, and I like to eat. I'm a thick girl, and I like to eat. So I'm like, mm-hmm. But I talked to her, and I went back in the car with her because let me tell you about the amazing thing that happened. I get in the car. She has a brother who is a recovering addict, and he's an alcoholic, and he is in a treatment center. Really great guy. His name is Wilbert. Wilbert is how old is Wilbert? I'm 44. I think Wilbert is about anyways, my age. Nice gentleman. But he wants to do better. He actually got hit by a car about 3 weeks ago on his way to this Target that we live next to. A person hit him and left the scene. He ended up with a broken leg. Anyway, prior to this, he's always been like a hard working brother. Does construction. Um, uh, had his own little construction business on the side or whatever. Hard working guy. Um, she tells everybody's business. So, and then I got a chance to talk to him one day with her, and I was so embarrassed that she was sitting there telling me his business, and he was right there about how he dated this girl for 14 years, and she had a baby on him, and all this other stuff, just telling all this man's business. So I got from that he's a good guy, hardworking guy. This. Ends up getting hit by a car. Um, Somehow, he's in a recovery, like a recovery center. Um, and she was on the phone with him yesterday on the car phone, on the speaker phone in the car, whatever. And he's just talking, and he said something to me, and I don't know. The spirit just led me to talk to him. He was like, my caseworker told me that nothing bad lasts forever, and I'm not gonna always be this way forever. That I'm gonna recover. God, you guys, I'm a damn crybaby, and I'm getting emotional. She was like, I'm gonna recover, and I'm not, gonna be an alcoholic anymore, and I'm not gonna this, and that. And I don't know what it was, but spirit led me to tell him, I know that this sounds like really messed up. I said, God will find ways to humble you. God will find ways to slow you down and shut you down. And I told him, I said, Wilbur, from what you told me and your sister told me, that you are a very good gentleman. You are a very loving man. You've been in really awful relationships. He's been about 3 or 4 long distance. I'm talking about long distance, not long distance. Um, long-term relationships, 14 years for one, 8 years for another one, 5 years for another one. And these women totally messed this guy over. And from what I heard from him, just and his sister too, and I believe him, just did everything for these women, and they messed him over. So I said, God has a way of slowing you down, humbling you a person, not humbling the person in a negative way, because humble can mean so many things. Quiet and humble person, or to be humble, where you're just out of control and you're just this, and the universe, God will find a way to shut your ass down. Anyway, so I said, Wilbur, from what I get from you, whatever I've seen, and then when I was talking to him, he kept saying, he was like, I love my beautiful black queens. I just love my beautiful black queens. And I was like, oh, thank you, whatever. He just has this utmost respect for women. Anyway, that's why I said God has a way of shutting a person down, slowing a person down. I said, but this is what I think happened. And I know that this is not good. I said, I think that when you got hit by that car, that was, God would never have anything, you know, drastic happen to you. And anybody that's watching this, you'll know what I'm talking about as I'm trying to explain it. I might be coming off as like, God allowed him to get hit by a car. Maybe. But what I mean by that is he has a way of slowing you down. So this guy was always working, work, always getting into these bad relationships, work, taking care of his family. Because he told me he actually won a lump sum of money, and it all went to his. He won. What did he say? $100,000 one time. He said that was like 10 years ago. It's all gone. He just helped his family, this, and this. And it's funny because when he said that, his sister, my friend, Miss Parker, she put her head down. So she must have been a part of that too. So anyway, I said, well, this is what I think happened. God wanted to slow you down. He saw that you were hardworking. You're a good man. You're in all these relationships. And I said, right now, it might be your time to rest and allow someone to take care of you, as bad as it may seem, because his leg is a lot better. He's in the, treatment center. Had that not happened to him, he would still be on the move. He would still be drinking out of control, Um, I won't say hooking up with women because I don't know. He don't do that. He actually has long term relationship. But what I mean, y'all, is that he would still be in that, situation that he's in recovery from right now. And as bad as it may seem that he was, hit by a car and fell over and his leg was broke and they left the scene. I think that was, I'll just say the universe to make everybody else more comfortable. I'm not going to say God. The universe had a way of slowing him down. And now he's in a recovery place and he's talking about how he wants to do better. He's never been in an alcoholic recovery place before. And I just think, and I told him, I said, Wilbur, I think it was your time. I said, you're a hardworking man. You're a loving man and you're so devoted and you're just an all around good guy. And I said, I think it was the universe slowing you down. Of course, I didn't use the word universe. I say God, slowing you down and allowing somebody to take care of you um, for a change. Because I know people who have worked all their life and they're so tired and, they're exhausted and that's all they know is to work and provide. I'm actually one of those people. And sometimes you do need a break. Sometimes you do need to slow down and allow somebody else to do for you and take care of you. And that's what I told him. And even though we were on the phone, you could tell he was so emotional. He was like, that's it. I said, that's it. And that's all is well. I said, that was a God's way of just slowing you down and saying, my child, slow down. You spend all your life working, you're going to work yourself to death. Because there are people that do. It's slow down. Slow down, just slow down, take a breather, and let somebody be a blessing to you for once. There it is right there. Allow someone um to be a blessing to you. And he was just so emotional. You could hear it in his voice, and he has a deep voice, and he was like, Kim, thank you so much. He was like that. He just kept saying, that's it. And I was like, yeah, it was. I was like, it'll get better. I said it'll get better. And then I told him about my story, how, dealing with someone for that amount of time and I was devoted and this. And God allowed me to be broken by that relationship because I wasn't focused on the right things. I invested in knowing so much about this person and trying to please this person. And I was supposed to be invested in God and pleasing God and doing the things that He wants me to do to have a prosperous life. So He allowed me to be shattered. And I believe that. And that's what I told the young man yesterday. And he was just like, he's like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. See, stuff like that makes a sister feel good. It is such, some of you should try that sometimes. I know it's hard for some of y'all. And I know it's hard for some people because you have done that and you got burnt. But I'm telling you, don't let nobody change you for the worst. I know that's hard to say because I almost allowed somebody to change me for the worst. It's easier said than done. You guys have been with me for an hour. I love you so much. Te quiero mucho, mi amores. And try not to let nobody change you for the worse. If you are out here, being your best and being supportive and being loving and being kind and being this and being that, keep doing it. Even if you have to go through 10 people. I'm going to try to repost this video of Medea. And Tyler Perry talked about this. And Tyler Perry talked about how you might have to go through 15, 20 people to find your diamond in the rough. And he just talked about how, matter of fact, it's on Facebook too. And he was doing a play. Tyler Perry was doing a play, and it was matter of fact, it was excuse me, the one where the mother had died. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I can't. That's not Happy Family. What is that one called? When the mother had cancer and she tried to get all the kids over, and then they made a movie with it. Remember, little Bow Wow was in it, and Tiana Taylor. She was like Byron, Byron. Is that Happy Family? I don't remember, but the play at the end of play where the mother dies and they all come back to the house for the repast and stuff. Tyler Perry just got real spiritual on us, and then he was talking about relationships because that was part of the play where the girl was in a bad relationship, whatever, and he talked about, dating this person and they're treating you bad. Dating the next person, they're treating you bad. And, he was talking about having to, he was like, you might have to go through 10, 15 people, you know, to like really find. He didn't say you're diamond in the rough, but in that effect, he was like, you might have to go through whatever, whatever. But he said, make each one of those relationships a learning experience. Take something positive from each one of those bad relationships or horrible relationships or whatever. And that's what I took um from mine. And I can smile about it now. Because a few months ago I was not smiling. And I know this is crazy and I say this to you guys all the time. I am so you're probably about to see a teardrop because when I think about it, if you haven't been in a situation and you're not, like minded, you're not going to understand what I'm saying. I am glad that happened to me because where I'm at right now is wonderful. I'm in a wonderful place right now in life, like spiritually. And that's what's always mattered to me is to be in a place spiritually. Because and that's the other thing I do when I pray. And I really believe this because of all the horrific things that I went through with, you know, with my mind and just whatever. Whenever I pray and I pray a lot during the day and I, speak in tongues and all that other stuff. Um, and that's an experiment I'm going to do too. I'm going to tell you guys about it later. But I know that I would not be able to survive or stand in this world by myself without God's good grace. And I tell him that when I go to pray, I be like, Yahushua, God, Jesus, God, I cannot do this without you. I cannot. The thought of being in this world without the protection and the presence, without any of that, without God, is terrifies me because I'm glad I had these experiences. I know because when I'm going through them, y'all, they weren't cool. But I'm telling you, everything has a purpose, even if it's horrific, because these were horrific. Like if you've never been at a point where you know that you're good and you lived all your life, and all of a sudden you're standing there one day and you go into this I told you about this. You go into this full blown panic attack and you start hearing shit. And I've never been so scared in my fucking life. And I was able to calm myself down. And it's happened to me twice. It tried to happen recently where I went into this panic attack. And it ain't nothing but the enemy, y'all. Ain't nothing but the enemy. But yeah, I'm good. When I tell you I'm good, I'm so good. I'm so glad that I am where I am today. My life has been an amazing, horrific, happy, amazing again experience. And I know now that I am not mentally, physically, financially, socially able to be in this planet, in this universe, without the guidance and protection of God, of Jesus. I can't, I know that I cannot do it. Whatever you believe in, that is your business. I know for me personally, I cannot do it without him. I have spent too long doing it without him. Like, I've always been a very spiritual person. I'm not going to say religious. I'll just say spiritual person. And I used to be that. I never was holier than thou to the point where I was ever disrespectful to anybody like some Christians. But I've always been aligned with God. But then I had some things that happened to me in my life where I strayed away. I would not talk to him. I would not pray. I would not listen to no gospel music. I wouldn't do none of that. The thought of anything God and Jesus angered me. That was the enemy because of what I was going through. And I'm just like, remember, I said all the time, I said, how do you allow a person that's so loving and devoted and praises you all the time and worships you and teaches your word and prays with people and does all this wonderful, loving, outlandish, crazy stuff when it concerns the spirit? How do you allow me to go through stuff like that? And I keep on forgetting that the Bible states that you will go through trials and tribulations in life. I finally get it. I finally get it. So whenever I feel like I'm getting ready to go through something, or if I am going through something, I have to remember that I'm no different than anybody else out here. And no matter how much I pray, and no matter how much I tithe and I offer it, I go to church and I smile and yes, ma'am, and I help and I love and I support or whatever. The world is set up for me to go through stuff. Because I'm gonna tell you guys something, and this is kind of embarrassing. I don't think that I'm better than the next person, but I really was like in my feelings sometimes. I'm like, bruh, I spent years doing what you asked me to do. Like, there's times where I called myself an evangelist, a prophet, and I was, living out those what personalities or I don't know, jobs or whatever. Not really a job, but I was just, would research what is an evangelist, what is a prophet, and I would do those things, and so I'm like, how am I doing all these things? I got something in my eye, and I'm going through so much. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. Everything I have, I had to fight for. Hold on for a second. Huh, interesting. Oh, I watched that before. Um, they were all, um, I'm like, why am I doing all this stuff? And I'm going through the most. Everything I've gotten in life did not come easy. I don't care what you think or what anybody told you. And that little thing about the best things in life are for free. If it's easy to get, it's easy to go. That, my friends, is facts. I've had to fight for every doggone thing that I have. I've had to work hard in some way, shape, or form for the things that I have. And I'm not complaining about it, but I'm complaining about it because at the time, I seen people with the same things that I wanted and desired, and I was working so hard for. It just came like that for them. And I'm just like, but she's awful. He's horrible. He's this and she's that. And I was always focused on what other everybody else was doing and how they got their blessing. And that's why I missed mine. And I'm different. I'm sitting out here. I teach my kids. Don't never worry about what the next person is doing unless it directly affects you. Keep the focus on yourself. you know, but I wasn't doing that. I was worried about how everybody else was getting their blessings and how, how easy it was they were getting their blessings, that I was missing mine. And when I was missing my blessings, I was really missing out and not realizing that I personally believe anything that comes easy can leave easy. And I saw the effects of those so-called blessings that people were getting. And I'm just sitting there crying and pity party and asking God why, I didn't get mine. That majority of those people lost those blessings because they were either getting them from the wrong person or just doing it, um, doing the wrong things to get it, doing it the wrong way or whatever, which is ultimately their business. But I learned to, stand strong and keep my faith, and the things that I have had to fight for, the things that I've had to go through the most for, because that used to be my thing. I used to ask my ex that, like, why is it that I go through the most, and just why me? It was always like, and people used to always tell me, you know, what do they say? God gives his strongest soldiers the hardest battle. So I keep that in mind. So many people have told me that, and I believe that. I believe that, and I say that I'm a very strong person, but then there's a part of me that's like, there's some things I don't know. I don't know if I can just take this much longer. Uh, but I do. I press through and I do what I got to do, and I get the job done. Um, you know, I get the job done. Listen to this, y'all. It must be nice. You go ahead, brother. Dell City man wins $100,000 in cash, 5 lottery drawings. Where they at though? I need to learn how to play that. They say all that astrological and playing the lottery and all that other stuff is sinful. Maybe it is, but I don't know how I feel about that. He won $100,000. Isn't it weird? Didn't I just tell you guys about how um my neighbor's brother won $100,000 and gave it all to his family, and then I go open up my phone to this little um story, and it talks about how a guy just won over here in Virginia, just won $100,000. Um, so I'm gonna read you guys another story real quick. This is really scary. Puppies may be making people sick, which is weird because I've been watching um Houston ASPCA on YouTube. Breaks my heart. I always say, what the F is wrong with people? How do you abandon a whole over two? Like I watched one episode where this person had a breeding mill, like a little breeding thing in the back of their yard. They seized over 250 Rottweilers, 2 Bengal tigers, and 2 bobcats. Just had in the backyard. Because in Texas, there's no law against having like big cats and animals and stuff like that. But you should have seen them. The dogs were starved, and you guys know that's my favorite breed of dog, Rottweilers. I love Rottweilers. Puppies may be making people sick, CDC says, which is really weird because I was just telling my children that I know actually one young man who got licked by his dog. No, his child got licked by their dog and got in the hospital, went in the hospital and passed away. And the dog appeared to be healthy, took him to the vet and all that. But according to the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention, they're also linked to a multi-state outbreak of infections. that resistant to multiple drugs. An outbreak strain of, I don't even know how to say this, Campylobacter ginger. They always got these crazy ass names for these diseases. Campylobacter is the name. Been reported in 30 states, and so far 30 people have been infected, the CDC says. 4 have been hospitalized, but no deaths have been reported, the center says. I was just telling my kids about that the other day about, because they're like really animal people, and I have to tell my grandkids too, y'all can't be walking up just touching anybody's dog and cats and animals and letting them just lick you all up in your face and stuff like that. People out here dying from that. Dog breeds you should avoid bringing into your home. I heard that Dalmatians are not good around kids either. Oh wow, devastating. I don't know why I'm reading y'all the news because I don't even um watch the news. Chris Smith became a single dad when his girlfriend died. The Browns cut him this week. What didn't he do something? She died in a car accident. Cutting the NFL player is rarely an easy decision, but this one was harder than most when Cleveland Browns waived defense in Chris Smith this week. It's also difficult to cut someone, and in this instance, what did he do? In September, she died in a car accident just weeks after giving birth to their daughter, Haven Smith. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what he did, why he got cut. You guys know what this Smith guy did? Chris Smith. The Browns cut him. Cleveland Browns cut him. Oh no, that's devastating though. Mm. Then our favorite person, you guys, and I had heard about this. Let's see. Salem Manor on Trump's claims about witch trial due process. Learns Learn your history. Oh, I thought they were going to talk about the so-called witches that have been casting spells on Donald Trump. They admitted to it, but I don't know what to think about that. But anyway, let's talk about video games real quick. I love video games. I like PlayStation 4. I like Xbox. It's a video game console. I love it. I'm more into I know y'all, I'm all over the place. I'm the kind of person, Mortal Kombat is if it's about fighting or like, hello? 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 Hi. Okay. All right, see you later. All right, bye. Girl, I seen you in the parking lot just now talking about she just got done at the doctor's office. She gonna go get gas. I just see you in the parking lot, sweetie. It's okay. I hope she's okay though. We're gonna have a little talk. Anyway, I love video games. I like stuff like 007, any of the like fighting battle games. Uh, what are the other ones called? Like I said, Mortal Kombat, Tomb Raider, 007, Black Ops, anything that I could. I know this sounds crazy coming from a girl, a Christian girl, well, a spiritual girl. But yeah, I like video games. Love video games, actually. I'm looking forward to this whole Xbox 5 shenanigans. So I'm looking forward to that. No, not Xbox 5. What am I talking about? PlayStation 5, right? Yeah, the PlayStation 5. But I heard that won't be coming out until 2023 or something like that. Just like the new Transformer movie is not coming out to 2023. It's supposed to come out this upcoming year, which is just a few days away. I'm really sad about that. I'm too embarrassed to tell you guys why, but I'm really sad about that. going into a new year. I'm just going to tell you, I'm really sad about going into the new year, being single and by myself. But I think that 2020 is going to be my year because a sister got her stuff together for her heat press. So I'm going to be getting my merch together. But anyway, my ride should be here. Um, I appreciate you guys sitting with me, and I'm gonna, like always, I'm not really on I really don't get on Hangouts anymore. I do get on the Duo, Google Duo. Because that stuff takes up a lot. I have an iPhone, so that stuff is not automatically on my phone, and it takes up a lot of data. I wanted to show you guys this really good app real quick though. Um, that I've been using. They're really cool. We're gonna have to have a conversation about this. Oh God, I wish I could spend some more time with you guys, cause let me go ahead and send these people a compliment real quick. Ooh. 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 This person looks very familiar. I'll put exactly. Anyway, you guys, if anybody is looking, if anybody's single and you're out, you're dating, and you're not really sure, like me, I live in an area where I really can't get out to meet people. So I've been on these two little social apps, and they've actually been working. Actually been like really cool. One is called Hinge, Hing. Remember, you guys, I told you guys anyway about the app called Meetup, where you can meet up with like-minded people. You can go to like, sometimes you got a group of people that meet at like Red Lobster, and everybody goes to Red Lobster and mingle, or you go to Pottery, or Starbucks. So I'm a very, even though I'm an introvert, I'm also a very social person too, and I just like meeting people. Period. So Meetup is a really good app to use. And you can meet people that are like-minded. They have thousands of groups on Meetup. There's actually companies that post different gatherings on that a Meetup app too. But there's one, Hinge is Hinge. Hinge is more like a dating app, but they do have a community of just like if you're just looking for like-minded people. So that's what I've been doing. There's a couple in here, and I just thought they were like really pretty. So I was like, oh, nice couple, beautiful couple, happy holidays. Another really good app too is which is the same thing. It's predominantly a dating app, but of course they have in the app where you can just meet people like-minded people, men, women, whatever, that like-minded, share the same interests, because they have you go through this whole, what are your hobbies and this, and they match you with different people in your area that have like, like little groups, like social groups, Bible groups, stuff like that. That app is predominantly a dating app too, but again, and that one is called Woo Plus, WOOPLUS. So Woo Plus, and the other one was called Hinge, Hing. And I've met a couple, not in person, but I've talked to a couple people. Um, I'm not serious about anything right now, so except working, my family, my spiritual self. So I'm not, looking, for that. So, but these are really good, trustworthy apps. And what else do I have on here? Now I did download this app on my phone, but it's like a Christian dating app, and they got people all the way. This person right here is from South Africa, but I think I'm going to take that. I'm not even going to recommend that to you guys. I'm taking this one off my phone because they don't give you the option to like put in your area, and I don't want to be looking through all these profiles. No, thank you. So, but that's it. Oh, what is? I wonder what that means when a person is. Let's see. I'm gonna have to look that up. Agnostic, Agnostic. Oh no, it ain't me. So I dated someone that was atheist before. He was really handsome. This was like 10, 11 years old. He was fine, but he was an atheist, and I couldn't get jiggy with it. Which is your business, your business, your business, your business, your business. But I couldn't do it. That was a long, long time ago. But anyway, you guys, I love you. Um, I was gonna leave my information. I always leave my information, and I'm thank you to you guys who, reach out to me and need support or whatever. I'm in awe. I don't, I appreciate it. I'm gonna share something with you. Oh, this is what I want to talk about on one of my videos. I want to talk about. Oh, I get it now. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Big shout out to, and this is let me disclaimer first. Oh, my baby's sick. My granddaughter's sick. I'm gonna have to call her. Anyway, big shout out. This is no disrespect. I'm sure a majority of you would take this as a disrespect. Shout out to my Muslim brothers that are exclusively with one woman. I don't know much about the Muslim religion. I do know that my biological family are Muslims. I'm not. I'm a Christian or whatever. And there's no disrespect against Muslims because I think that's one of the religions that is most close to the way they pray. Just different different characteristics, personality, whatever that the Muslim religion has. Is very what is it resonates with me. But I guess there's different. I'm learning now, and I want to talk about this later. And I hope that you guys chime in. There's different denominations of the Muslim religion, and I said that to say I have some Muslim brothers that I know. Like I said, my family, they're all biological family, they're all Muslim. And I have a family, most of my family are Muslim men. And they are in monogamous relationships. But I remember reading that some of the Muslim, I don't know, you guys, and don't shoot me down for this because I don't really know how to explain it. But I guess some of the Muslim denominations, they do have, several wives and stuff like that. And I said that to say I just got a message twice from two different on these little apps that I was using. This guy sent me a message. I can clearly tell that he's Muslim by his beard, and he says it in his profile. But all his profile, he's, as they say, booed up with one guy's booed up with two different women. And when I was going down reading his profile, they are his partners. And I do remember somewhere in a Muslim religion, I guess that denomination, that some of them do believe in having several wives. So that kind of explains. I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. I dated someone who family's Muslim, and now I realize why this person was very promiscuous. I said it. I'm a smart gal. But anyway, you guys, if anybody's single or looking to meet people or whatever, check out the Hinge app, Hing, I think. And Woo Plus, really, really good people. They ask you a list of questions and stuff like that. But I'm getting ready to go because I'm ready to call my granddaughter. She's been throwing up all night, and that's my baby. So I want to thank you guys for sitting here an hour and 28, 53, 54, 55. Now I'm just, an hour and 28 minutes with me, listening to me ramble and listening to me cuss, listening to me saying some expiring things and maybe not so expiring things. And I want to tell you guys, I got a heart-shaped ketchup on my on my desk. You guys keep being loving, keep being an inspiration, Keep being a good friend. Keep being kind. Don't let a bad situation change you for the worst. Love somebody on purpose. Love somebody for real. But it always starts with self love. You guys know that, right? And when you're practicing self love, make sure that you're also demonstrating it, because when you're demonstrating self love, it should, not always, but it should show people, when you're standing up for yourself and you're loving yourself and people are seeing all the, respect and stuff that you have for yourself. It should demonstrate to them, how you want to be treated. Doesn't always happen like that. I should know. And remember that your word is your bond. At the end of the day, that's all you have. Keep your word. Keep it 1,000. It's not that hard. Tell the truth. It's not that hard. I was gonna say only lie when you have to. Yeah, only lie when you have to. I said it, whatever. Because sometimes you gotta flesh your tooth a little bit for whatever reason, safety purposes or whatever. The reason. This is my little protection oil I told you guys about. Whatever reason, but keep it 100. See, the FedEx man, and that's my closing arguments. The FedEx man is outside, y'all. So maybe y'all know I'm a dodo bird. Okay, I'm not the smartest tool in the thing. I have a box, a TV. Walmart set me up. I have a 55-inch TV that I've had in a box for over 5 months. Now Walmart sent me because I have insurance on it, and I got to get this box out by the end of this year, or I forfeit the insurance that I have on it. So Asurion sends me out a box. I'm thinking that the box says I can just call FedEx and they'll come get the box, whatever, whatever, whatever. No, 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 honey. They talking about I gotta take that box, that 55-inch TV, to FedEx and pay for it to go back to somewhere in New York so they can see what's wrong with it. I already know what's wrong. My damn grandkids threw something and hit the damn screen and broke it. But anyway, but it says on the box, it says But it says on the box ground shipment or something like that. I looked up ground shipment or whatever, and I couldn't really understand what they were talking about. So I don't know. And the FedEx man is outside, and he moves so fast. I want to get him to come in here and scan the box for me, but I don't think I can do that. So, oh, look at the baby. Oh my God, I'm about to get baby fever. You guys, I gotta go. I love you guys. Have a great day. I gotta turn this show off about baby snow. Don't do it. Anyway, I love you guys for real. Thank you for watching. A kiss and a virtual hug. Thank you for sitting here with me. And have a great day. I will see you guys a little bit later, or I'll see you tomorrow. And I love you guys.